Welcome to the New Life Stories channel. We hope you will have fun with us. Enjoy watching.
I am barely 18 years old, brunette with a short haircut, height 185, athletic build. I want to tell you a real story of mine. One day my mom and I went to my uncle's house for his birthday. He is my mom's cousin. My dad had his own business, and he often went on business trips and could not go with us then. The birthday party went great, saw a lot of relatives. My mom invited everyone to visit us. The thing is that we live on the outskirts of the city, and behind it begins the forest. This year, a lot of mushrooms and berries. It's already been a week since my birthday, and at the birthday party I found out that Aunt Tina and her husband were coming to visit us. Tina was my maternal uncle's cousin, and she was just an acquaintance or distant relative. In general, we did not communicate closely. I noticed Tina at the birthday party. She works as a nurse. Medium height, bright brunette, shoulder-length hair. Then she was wearing a dress with a deep neckline, from which you could see a lot of breasts. The figure is a little overweight, but in moderation. She was 39 years old and her husband was 45. His name was Rick. He was of average height, a little gray hair. I didn't like the fact that he was always praising himself, being a braggart. They arrived Thursday night and were going to stay until Monday. Our house is big for 4 bedrooms, plus living room, kitchen, bath. One late night, I couldn't sleep and went to the bathroom. As I was returning to my bedroom, I heard rustling and laughter in the bedroom where Tina and her husband were. I got curious. I opened the door and froze. The blanket was lying on the floor. Rick and Tina were having sex. My buddy instantly jumped up and I decided to watch until the end. To my surprise, they were sluggish in bed. Tina was trying really hard and then Rick was inactive. And then I realized he barely had a heart-on. I wish I were in his shoes. I'd be a good guy, I thought to myself. After all, Tina's efforts were finally coming to fruition. You want more? Tina whispered to her husband, "No, let's go to bed." I quietly went back to my room. From that moment on, I began to dream of Tina as a woman. I thought a lot about how to get her into bed. But it was always my husband or my mom. Tina was going to the woods to pick mushrooms. She loved the outdoors. My mom was cooking in the kitchen, and Rick was too lazy to go out. So I tagged along. I was good in the woods, and it was the last chance we'd have to be alone. I put the contraceptives in my pocket and followed her. We entered the woods and walked leisurely. She was wearing a t-shirt, athletic pants. I knew where the old forester's house was in the woods. There's a makeshift bed, a table, and a stove. And under the pretext that I know a good glade with mushrooms, I took her there. Tina did not want to go at first. It was not close, and she did not know the way there. Well, a little of my persistence, and she agreed. After half an hour, we were almost there. The house showed. I began to worry. I felt my heart beating hard in my chest. Realizing that everything would be decided now, I decided to offer to come in for a rest. Tina replied that she wasn't tired yet. Then I lied, saying that there were a lot of animal skins in the house, and there was something to see. Tina agreed to come in, and I opened the door and let her go in. She went inside and said, "What's there to see? Why did we come here?" I walked up behind her, wrapped my arms around her, and pulled her against me. With my right hand, I held on, and my left hand went under her t-shirt. "What are you doing? Are you even normal?" Tina started to burst out, and I silently started kissing her neck. It was uncomfortable, but I tried my best. I thought she started to like it. I relaxed my hands, and then Tina jerked forward and pulled out. She turned around and started scolding me. "What do you think you're doing?" "I'm going to tell your mother everything. Let's go back quickly." She was about to leave the house, but she realized that she couldn't find her way back without me. I started to coax her. "Tina, you want to do this too, please. No one will know about this." I pulled down my shorts and panties and out fell my decent-sized heart-on. Tina was surprised. She hadn't expected this. Compared to her husband, I had a bigger one by almost half. "What makes you think I won't want to have a husband?" "I saw you and your husband at night and walked over to her. My buddy rested on her navel." I started kissing her lips and neck. After a couple minutes, Tina started to reciprocate my caresses. "Well, your sneaky auntie," said with a smile. I started to pull off her shirt, but she interrupted me and commanded, "Take off your clothes." And she began to take off her clothes. A minute later, we were already naked. A magical picture opened before me. I pushed her onto the bed. She obediently obeyed all my actions. I had Tina. Finally, my fantasy came true. When we were done, she confessed that her husband had never given her such pleasure. She made me promise not to let anyone know what had happened. After resting a bit, we packed up and went home. I walked and thought happily that Tana and I had 2 more days ahead of us, and we would go mushrooming with her for sure. Dear friends, if you like this story, please share your thoughts in the comments and put like or dislike. And don't forget to subscribe to our channel. Thank you all. Until new stories.